Oh, Canada, a world at war. You're probably thinking what I'm thinking. Why is Trudeau showing so much foreign interest in communist countries and helping their economies while destroying our own? Well, I'm going to get into that, and this is just a theory, but you can make of it what you want. The world, even more so today, is experiencing a major shift in power in regards to the deals and treaties that are being signed and the ones that are cast aside. Now, I like to think, being a writer, that I'm pretty good at making connections, so maybe you're going to want to stick around for this. I'm not sure how familiar all of you are with the Cuban Missile Crisis, but I'm going to touch on topics that involve the Cold War regarding the Cuban Missile Crisis and the recent treaty that is cast aside and expected to be rediscussed in 2021. Now, those are two separate treaties, but they go hand in hand. On August 5th, 1963, the LBT was signed by both Kennedy and Khrushchev and was a 13-day confrontation. See for part 2. Now, clearly, for this part 2, I have a lot of explaining to do, which we're going to get to. So first, where I left off. The LBT was initiated by the American discovery of Soviet ballistic missile deployment in Cuba. Now, the LBT took place in 1963, and the CTBT took place from 1994 to 96. On the 5th of August of 2019, Russian President Vladimir Putin stated, as of August 2nd, 2019, the Intermediate Nuclear Forces Treaty no longer exists. Now, Trump has pulled out of the 1987 Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty and the New START Treaty, which puts limits on the entire nuclear arsenals for both Russia and the United States, is due to expire in 2021 unless the two sides agree to extend it. Now, Canada's top general says Russia poses the most immediate threat to this country and the international community today, while China represents a significant risk for cyber attacks. Connections in part 3. Now, in this video, you can see why Trump is so adamant on how much countries spend towards NATO in regards to defense spending, and he put the pressure on Trudeau, who didn't even know how much we spend as a percent of our GDP. And with Russia increasing their training exercises, you can see why it is so crucial for Canada to at least meet the 4% mark. Keep in mind that Trudeau has also gotten very close with foreign socialists, and he has even openly expressed his love for communism. In fact, Frederick Kagan of the American Enterprise Institute, a Washington-based public policy think tank, used a football analogy to explain the state of Russian aggression. He said, "We are collectively standing around waiting for the next play to start while the ball is actually live and the Russians are running back toward our goal. This is not an interwar period. The war is on." This should be a large concern expressed by most people. So while all of these moves in Canada are being made to shut down our economy, Trudeau's goal couldn't be more clear. He's dividing the country, and his plans mark that of a dictator. And this is all to bring about a socialist Canada. Now, for all the reasons that I've listed, you can easily see that not only do we have an arms race on the way and could be facing another world at war, it is a Cold War at play, much like the Cuban Missile Crisis happening for a second time. It will continue until an agreement is reached in 2021. Now, a lot of the deals that are being made today in Canada is not shifting in Canada's favor. Now that the treaty is over, we will see the development and deployment of new weapons. Pavel Felgenhauer, a Russian military analyst, told AFP news agency, "Russia is already ready." And like I stated in the previous video, they are already testing those boundaries more frequently. Trudeau is making the wrong plays. Trump, on the other hand, is making the right plays. Now, the dropping of the treaty poses a direct threat to countries until 2021. If a deal is renegotiated, which Trump plans to do with wanting to establish a new nuclear pact to be signed with Russia and China. Now, I think this is going to be my last political post for the night, but you're starting to get the picture. Well, I mean, I guess it's morning, but you know. That picture is based on my theory. Canada is not only going in the wrong direction in regards to our imposter prime minister, but we are also in the middle of a true Cold War that hasn't been seen since the Cuban Missile Crisis. As long as Canada has strong ties with the United States, we have a great ally on our side, even though deals are not in our favor, along with Trudeau not encouraging our economic growth, especially in regards to shutting down our energy sector. These plays are also happening into being exploited by Trudeau's weakness, with American protesters causing havoc in Canada. This too draws Canada closer to a socialist state. And our immigration policies are shit. And pretty soon our neighboring country won't be an ally in regards to this imposter. And all Canadians should be fucking outraged at this bullshit.